All right, precious brothers and sisters, it's March 28th, 2012, and I have a breaking story coming out of Syria. But I want to take you to Scripture first. Are we getting a little bit ahead of ourselves as we look at Bible prophecy, end-time Bible prophecy? Many are looking at what's taking place in Damascus in Syria, with Assad and Russia moving in as the fall of Damascus. Damascus will be a ruinous heap. Many are looking into Scripture at Psalms 83 and Ezekiel 38. But let me take you to Scripture, and it will all tie in with what's going on in Syria right now. The 7-year covenant peace treaty. Are we getting ahead of ourselves? Which the deceptive man, Prince of Peace, signs with Israel is broken at the 3.5-year mark. Let me take you to Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consumption. And that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Daniel chapter 12, verse 11. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Now let me refer you to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now I want to remind everyone, everything is in place now for the rebuilding of the temple. All the rabbis have been trained. Everything that was in the temple before it was destroyed has been replicated back to its original form, and right down to the solid gold menorah. Everything is in place for the rebuilding of the temple. Doesn't mean we're not that close to the rapture. We could be hauled out of here. Church could be removed at any time. Let me take you to Revelation chapter 11, verse 2, before I bring you what's going on in Syria. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles, in the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And those in Judea, in Israel, are told to flee the mountain. Okay, here's what's going on. Now we know Damascus, Syria, and what's going on with Assad. It looks like the fall of Damascus. But I just don't want us to get ahead of ourselves in prophecy. Here's the headline. Syria accepts UN peace plan, but bloodshed persists. So I just want to bring you this information. It appears that Syria has accepted a plan of peace presented to them by the United Nations. Syria has accepted a peace plan by United Nations envoy Kofi Annan that includes a government ceasefire. But the bloodshed persisted Tuesday as intense clashes between soldiers and rebels spilled across the border into Lebanon, officials said. There were conflicting reports about whether Syrian troops physically crossed the border. 2 Lebanese security officials said only bullets whizzed across the frontier into a rural, sparsely populated area around the Lebanese village of Qwa. There is no Syrian military presence on the Lebanese side of the border, the military official said. Get this, but 2 witnesses in Qwa who asked that their names not be published because of the sensitivity of the matter. I know that sounds strange, but once again, 2 witnesses. They don't want their identity disclosed. Say they saw dozens of troops enter Lebanon. One witness said the Syrian troops burned several homes. So is there going to be a ceasefire now? Is there going to be peace? Are we going to have a peace treaty formed? I'm going to put the link below where you can read this in its entirety. We know Russia has got troops on the ground in Syria backing Assad. Are we going to actually see the fall of Damascus before we see the peace treaty signed? And are we getting close to signing a peace agreement? I'll just read a little bit more. The UN meanwhile raised its death toll for the year-long conflict of more than 9,000. For the whole year, 9,000 people. Robert Sari, UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, gave the numbers Tuesday while briefing the UN Security Council on Israeli-Palestinian peace process. The Syrian uprising, which began last March 2011, when everything else began, with mostly peaceful protests against the regime, has turned increasingly militarized after the government swiftly unleashed its military tanks, snipers, and machine guns to break up the protests. Now, are they going to truly accept this peace offering presented by the United Nations? Are we going to be looking at the signing of a peace treaty and the temple being rebuilt? God bless everyone. Leave me your comments. Link below.